And welcome back to CoPlastics Ask the Expert. On this episode, we'll be speaking to Ethan Soliday, our strategic accounts executive, about plastics in the agricultural industry. Given your dual expertise, could you delve into specific applications where performance plastics have had a transformative impact on agricultural practices? How have they been seamlessly integrated into existing systems?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things that comes to mind for me is grease points on a piece of ag equipment. That farmer, before he goes out in the field, he has to spend time going to each grease point, making sure that, he hooks up that grease gun and puts enough grease into that point. And the reason he's doing that is because a lot of times within that grease point is metal on metal and on metal possibly. So you have a metal housing with a metal bushing with a metal shaft. And everybody knows when you have the same material wearing against each other, it's the worst type of wear you can have. You want a different type of material in there. And they've been adding grease for years and years and years. That's just kind of the way things have been done. But on the plastic side of things or on the polymer side of things is you look at that and like, what can we do to make that better, not only for the farmer, but even for the manufacturer? And so in a situation like this, you could actually make a bushing out of nylon with a molybdenum disulfide, or MOS2 as we like to call it, an additive, which is like a self-lubricated additive that you add to this nylon. And so now you don't have to use any more grease, and the farmer can just kind of be on his way, skip that grease point, go to another one.
That's fascinating. Now let's go ahead and explore the technical side. How do the material science and engineering aspects of performance plastics contribute to their success in agricultural? Are there particular characteristics that make them stand out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And kind of just talked about the nylon one. There are two types of nylon. You got your extruded nylons and you got your cast nylons. Within each of those, you can have a number of variations of extruded or a cast nylon. You can add that MOS2 to both extruded nylon and cast nylon, and they're considered a different type of nylon, but they can be used interchangeably with your customer approval. Outside of that, there are many other additives that you can add that will make nylon unique in its own way. You can add glass fibers to nylon, which will increase the strength of the nylon. You can add a solid lubricant, which would significantly increase the PV value of a nylon, which is very important for bushings. You can also add a heat-resistant additive, which will increase the continuous surface temperature that nylon can operate at. Nylons are typically 200, 220. Add a heat additive, you can bump that up to 260. The wonderful thing about polymers as a whole is that if one type does not work and an additive could be added to make that polymer fit your customer's need.
Given the complexity of challenges in both fields, how can collaborative innovation between experts in plastics and ag drive further advancements in performance plastics? Are there untapped opportunities for cross-industry collaboration?
Hey, absolutely. The challenge with getting polymers with the ag and heavy equipment market used to be a lot tougher. Plastics was always an afterthought or not even a thought at all. But today we are seeing a lot more engineers that have specialized knowledge in polymers. We are seeing a lot more of the younger engineers that are coming right out of college and into the workforce that have engineering degrees specializing in polymers. This is a big help. Having these engineers already exposed to polymers is a big step into working together. We do not have to spend the time to try to teach them about polymers. They already have that knowledge, and when an opportunity comes up, they may already know what type of polymer they want to start their project with. If that polymer doesn't work, we're here to help them in trying to find another one. It also helps that most of the large ag and heavy equipment companies have a vast knowledge of what has and has not worked for them in the past, and they will use that knowledge when designing new parts out of polymer. So if you have any issues with wear parts, or you just like more knowledge on polymers, please reach out to your local CoPlastics representative, and they would be more than happy to lend a helping hand.